Morning Blitz begins now.
Look what happened. Is this crazy?
Oh my gosh. It is crazy.
Well, it was quite an enormous win for Republicans.
That was, I didn't see that coming. I mean, I knew it was going to be close. I thought it was going to be close. That's what I thought. I mean, you saw the polls. By the way, that's Kelly Quinn. I'm Vic Rick. It's the Morning Blitz at 6:08.
Yeah.
Obviously talking about the election.
Donald Trump wins the White House easily, it looks like. A massive red wave, as they like to say. But right now he's sitting at 280 electoral votes. He just needed 270. Kamala Harris with 226. There are still a few states out, like Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, to name a few. But Wisconsin just went for Trump, which is a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, he's flipped all the battleground states.
The surprise comes in the polling.
Yeah.
Which appeared way closer than the actual results show. And
I'm telling you, I told you yesterday, I read that story that the polls that wasn't right, that you just don't even listen to them because it could be either way, and that was the case.
Right. Yeah, it's wild. Now we're sitting at the U.S. Senate. Republicans took the majority. Obviously, a giant loss for Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio.
Right.
Lost to Bernie Moreno. Republicans now up 51.
Giant win
in the
for
US
Ohio.
Senate.
Not having to see those commercials anymore.
Yes. In the U.S. House, Republicans are up as well. So it's a huge win. State issue 1 in Ohio fell hard, and that was the redistricting issue. Again, you know, if you saw the signage out in people's yards, if you were pro-Trump, you were against state issue 1. And yes, it just seems like not a clean sweep, but, you know, a gigantic win for Republicans last night.
Well, yeah, just so much bigger than we expected.
Yes,
you know,
but that was predicted for sure.
Definitely not as close as the polls said it was going to be.
Now, Kamala Harris has not spoken yet. She is expected to speak at some point, likely this morning. She had held a big watch party at Howard University in D.C. last night.
That's where she went to school, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And everybody ended up going home, and she did not speak last night, or early this morning, but is expected to make some remarks this morning.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember who it was from her campaign said they were going to wait. There were still more votes to be counted or something.
Yeah, it was kind of a tell. I was just sort of, it was kind of a tell. Last night at about 11 p.m., her national campaign manager told all her supporters to go home, said it's going to be a long night. We're not going to really know anything, so you guys can go home, and we'll pick this all up again in the morning when the situation becomes more clear, which would be really odd for a campaign that thought they were going to win. So that was kind of a tell last night.
Yeah, the co-chair here. Wait.
We still have votes to count, so you won't hear from the vice president tonight, but you will hear from her tomorrow. She will be back to address not only the HU family, not only to address her supporters, but to address the nation.
I mean, what votes they got to count?
Well, yeah, that was last night.
Okay.
So,
yeah, that's true. Huh.
Yeah, so that was interesting. That was her campaign co-chair, and they also sent out, communication, just like, it's time to go home. We'll sort of gather again tomorrow. So it was interesting. I think it was at around 1:30. People started calling. 1:30 this morning. People started calling the election.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I was asleep. You actually went to bed later than I did.
Well, and I was up too after it all. I just couldn't sleep. It was one of those things where I just felt like it felt electric to me, like my body would not relax. So I just kept getting up. I kept checking my phone, and then finally I just went downstairs and sat with Charlie. I'm like, all right, fill me in. It was about midnight. I'm like, tell me everything. And so we sort of hung out after that. So yeah, it was a long night for a lot of people. And I know their segments extraordinarily happy this morning and some extraordinarily sad. And we move forward.
Yeah, what do we do now?
Well, I hope we can all support each other.
By the way, if you heard the amazing national anthem there at the beginning, that was Zach Wilde. He performed that at the Seahawks game against the Rams. on Sunday.
Nice.
So, yeah, I saw that yesterday afternoon. I'm like, I got to play that.
That was good.
That was good stuff, man. I like that. I don't look. The texts we're getting. I mean, back-to-back texts. I'm not going to say names. Huge win for America. This country is effed. The next text. I'm like, I don't know what to tell all you guys.
Well, it just shows you how, the person you're sitting next to at work might be happy and might be sad. You don't know. So you just treat everyone nicely
just
today.
Be good to each other, man. I mean, it's over. We have a winner. There's no controversy.
That's what I was, hopeful
which is all
for
I wanted.
and expected. And yesterday, if you remember, I did say I thought we would have a winner for sure in the morning. I didn't really call it. It was just a gut feeling. I do not have any expertise in the area, so how would I know? I just felt it.
Look, there's still 2 states that aren't in. There could have been 10 states that weren't in yet.
Right.
So, you know.
Yes.
You called it. Take the credit.
All right, I'll take the credit. No, I just felt like we were going to know, and I'm glad we do, and I'm glad it's decisive so we don't have bickering and fighting for another week before we know who the president is. That's at least clear to everyone, and we can all begin to sort of move forward through the next 4 years.
Yeah. Though, if I'm Trump, I'm like stressed because, man, I got a lot to do now. I got to fix a lot of stuff.
I got a lot of promises to fulfill here.
And he better do that. For everybody's benefit, he better do that. All right, let's have some fun this morning.
All right.
Morning Blitz trivia, $25 to Waterbeds and Stuff and Beds and Stuff Superstores. To the first one who can text in the correct answer at 99700. What state is ranked the best state in the country to survive an alien invasion? We had this a few months ago for a zombie apocalypse, which state could survive a zombie apocalypse. Now we want to know which is the best state to survive.
Oh, is it different than the zombie?
I'm trying to remember what the zombie one was.
Some of us are prepared for zombies. Some are prepared for aliens.
So be the first one to tell us the state at 99700, and you'll get that gift card. Ghost on the Morning Blitz, 6:24. That's Kelly Quinn. I'm Thick Rick. We are getting so many texts this morning. I'm not surprised. It was funny because Jana texted in and regarding the election said, at least this year there are no hanging chairs. And then she texted back and says, Chads. They were supposed to say Chads.
Oh, the hanging Chads was from the Al Gore, George W. Bush? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, remember that.
Yes.
But more recently in 2020, we had to wait. We had to wait days for a winner. So it's just, to me, it's just a relief to not have to freaking sweat about it for another few days. I was just up my energy and anxiety level or something. It was just buzzing. Everything felt electric yesterday, and it always does on election day.
Always,
just kind of waiting and worrying and wondering and all that. So I'm sure everybody had the same experience last night.
It was just funny, the autocorrect and that saying hanging chairs. And I'm like, I have a love-hate relationship with autocorrect because sometimes it saves my ass and other times it makes me look so stupid. It's like autocorrect's great. Autocorrect sucks. But, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
All right, so our Morning Blitz trivia question, what state is best prepared to survive an alien invasion? And based on military presence and natural defenses, along with an abundance of forests and caves, Virginia. Virginia's the state you want to be in. And I do believe, if I remember correctly, that was the same as for the zombie apocalypse.
Is there a different prep system for a zombie versus an alien? Is it what would you have in your go bag in an alien invasion that you wouldn't have in a zombie?
Well, the problem with an alien invasion is the distance that they can attack. With a zombie, they have to get right next to me, and all I need is a knife to fight off a zombie. With aliens, who knows? They got probably laser guns and they got spaceships, and so
I don't know. I just feel like if you have a Slim Whitman CD,
they can make their head explode.
You can make an alien's head explode. We learned that on Mars Attacks.
Right. Well, Alabama took second place because of their low UFO sighting rate. So I guess aliens don't want to be in Alabama. And then Minnesota came in third because of their impressive number of scientists and engineers. That boosted their survival prospects.
Okay.
The state least likely to resist alien invasion is Nevada.
Come on in.
Yeah, come on. Just as long as you spend money in the casinos, we're
play
fine.
the slots.
Actually, it was due to a lack of natural cover and water, and a very high UFO sighting rate. Well, sure, they want to go. They want to go to Vegas and party.
Yeah,
the aliens. So yeah. Oh well. Let's see. Jacob from Amanda was the first one to text in the correct answer. So Jacob's got $25 to go spend at waterbeds and stuff.
It's the Morning Blitz.
And now it's time for I've Got Something.
Let's see if these dummies have anything worthwhile for us.
Well, I don't know if it'll be worthwhile, but these dummies will try. What you got, Kelly?
All right. Well, according to Google Trends, search results for, quote, did Joe Biden drop out? Peaked yesterday.
Oh, really?
On Election Day, even though Joe Biden dropped out of the 2024 race in the summer. So apparently, a lot of people were wondering whether Joe Biden was still running yesterday.
Oh, really? Like, it's
weird?
Election Day. I got to go vote. So Biden.
Yes, so
wait,
is Biden
Biden's
still
not
running?
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
not wild. One of the more talked about things that actually was a Google trend as well, and this is still a trending over the past 4 hours on Google. The search phrase, Barron Trump height. Now,
do you want to know how tall he is?
one of those searches was me, because
really?
if you watch Donald Trump's victory speech, you saw Barron Trump towering over Melania, and Melania is tall. She's 5'9". So turns out, if the internet is to be believed, Barron Trump is somewhere between 6'7" and 6'9", depending on which outlet you go with. But
wow,
you should watch the stage. If you watch the victory speech, you will see it's just shocking how tall Barron Trump is. It's like, what the heck? You can't even believe it. But anyway, that's according to Google Trends, like over the past 4 hours. When you get past all the election results searches, you get Barron Trump height.
Wow.
It's crazy.
How old is he now?
He's in college.
Oh, he is an adult then.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's tall, man.
Yep.
All right. Mine has nothing to do with politics or any of that stuff. Mine is about something wholesome and wonderful we all love, and that is Halloween candy.
Yum.
Because we're post-Halloween now.
Yes.
So how long does your Halloween candy last?
I hope for a while.
Yeah.
I still have a giant bag at home.
Well, candy in general can generally be eaten past its expiration date with minimal health risks. But the quality will decline over time. It's kind of like medicine, drugs. It's got an expiration date. And it just gets less potent, you know?
Right.
Dark chocolate will last 1 to 2 years in cool, dark storage.
Okay.
Milk and white chocolate lasts up to 10 months.
I want to tell you, if I ever went trick-or-treating and someone handed me dark chocolate, I would throw it back in their face and say, how dare you? I'm insulted.
The one thing that you and my wife are not on the same page with.
Oh, I hate dark chocolate.
She
It is so
loves it.
gross.
It's so healthy.
It's disgusting.
So good for
but
you.
But it isn't. They found all those heavy metals in dark chocolate. Yeah, no, there are only certain kinds of dark chocolate that are without, like, I don't know, some type of, like, really weird heavy
What?
metals. Yeah, dude, look it up.
Was like Zach Wilde
Google
in there,
it.
or what are we talking about? No, what?
Look it up. I mean, there's certain candy bars that are really loaded with
all right.
weirdness.
Hard candy, if kept dry, has an indefinite shelf life.
Oh.
As long as it stays away from moisture. Marshmallows, 6 to 8 months is all you want to keep that around
See,
for.
disagree, because if Peeps are any indication as to how much better they can get when they're stale, keep them for a long time.
I don't believe that's real marshmallow.
A Peep?
Yeah.
What do you think
it's just
it
some
is?
chemical.
I don't think so. I think it's real marshmallow.
I don't know. All right. Well, what it is it can dry out.
I love it.
Oh, you like it dried out?
Yeah, I don't want it like freeze dried.
I gotcha.
But I do want it a little bit chewy.
All right.
You know, give me a chewy peep or a chewy marshmallow of any kind. Yum.
Caramel and nougat, 6 to 12 months. And candy corn, about 9 months when sealed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It says for optimal storage, keep candy in a cool, dark pantry. So I would assume there's some people out there that still have plenty of Halloween candy left.
I think I would eat candy corn through Thanksgiving, and then I'm pitching it.
Okay.
But let me tell you something.
That's nice.
I got the tiny little bite-sized candy bars, a big bag of them, like that really tiny, not the
not the fun size.
Not the fun size, the smaller
minis,
than that.
The minis.
Yes. May I say that the Twix is the mother of all candies.
It's pretty good candy.
It is a great candy.
I like a Twix. I do like a Twix.
Oh! I don't even know if I have any Twix left in that bag because I've just been like searching for them the whole time. I'm like, I'm hungry for a little candy bar, and I want a Twix every single time. They're better than anything in that bag, and that includes Snickers. I love a Twix.
To preserve your candy longer, freeze it.
Okay.
It says to freeze it. I love a frozen candy bar.
Do you? Yeah. If it's dark chocolate, though, just throw it out.
My wife's head's going to explode. Kelly, stop that. But don't freeze anything that has fruit or nuts in it.
Oh, even Snickers?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's got nuts in it.
I love a frozen Snickers.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Huh.
Stuff like that. Yeah. It just says avoid freezing varieties with fruit or nuts. Oh, you know what? Last week, the day after Halloween, I got this clip. I know I still have it. Yes, I do. Okay, there's a guy on TikTok. His name is Premi Sterling. You ever heard of this guy?
Never.
Premi Sterling. I thought if you had, that name is just not. That's a pretty rare name, I think. Premi Sterling. Anyway, he made this post the day after Halloween, and it was great. And I wanted you to hear it.
Where are the new candies? Why have I been eating the same candy for 3 decades? Explain to me why I've been trick-or-treating my whole life, and I'm always getting the same candies. Snickers, Twix, Reese's Pieces, Skittles, Starburst. It's the same candies every year since I was born. There's no new candies. Think about what I'm telling you. As long as you've been alive, it's been the same candies. We've gotten new cereals. We've gotten new animals. But we're getting the same candy. And all this stuff is artificially made. So nobody could have artificially made some new stuff?
He's got a point.
Do you remember when they changed the name of the $100,000 bar to the $100,000?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
they changed names, but they're not changing the candies up.
That's not a terrible candy bar.
No.
I can eat that once in a while.
I feel like, though, I'm going to sort of disagree with him because, what about like Nerds? Those are relatively new, aren't they? They're not like an old candy. Not like a Hershey's or a Snickers or a Milky Way. Like a Nerd. That's not... When was the Nerd created?
I'm going to tell you.
And the Nerd's Rope, which is an amazing candy, by the way.
1983.
Thank you. Although...
That was more than 30 years ago.
That was more than 30 years ago. Well, he's right.
Yeah, when I played that on Friday, we got a few texts, and I can't remember there was a couple new candies that people texted in and said, you got to try these. But Ron from Subway makes a great point. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
What about gummy bears? When were those?
Gummy bears.
What about High Chews? Have you ever had a High Chew?
No, I didn't even heard of that. Let's see. The gummy bear. 20.
Yeah.
Haribo Company in 1920.
High Chew was invented in 1975. This guy is right.
He is.
There's no new candy out there.
Is there anybody? Anybody got anything new in the last 30 years?
Oh, the Kinder.
Kinder Egg?
Kinder Egg and Kinder. When were those?
Somebody says,
Bueno.
what about the Kinder Egg? I don't, let's see. Kinder Egg? I don't even know what that is. What's a
Kinder? Okay, Kinder Bueno.
1974.
1990 for Kinder Bueno.
Oh, okay. I looked up Kinder, Kinder Surprise. Kinder Egg. Kinder Surprise Egg, manufactured by Ferrero since 1974.
Okay, so Kinder's been around.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that guy's he's on to something. I never thought of it.
There's got to be something, right?
Somebody said Take 5 is newish.
That was one. That was one somebody texted in, the Take 5 bar, and they said it's really good. So.
Take 5 is good. Take 5 is an amazing, and it was, let's see. Oh, I said, when was Take 5 created? And it brought me to a band called Take 5.
Oh, yeah, Take 5 bar.
Take 5 candy.
Let's try Take 5 bar.
December 2004. That's a new one.
All right, there's a new one.
A Take 5.
Oh, but it's from Reese's.
Yeah.
So is it just chocolate and peanut butter?
Yeah, but I think there's something new about it. Like, isn't there pretzel or something in it?
Oh, is that right? Maybe. Where do you fall on chocolate-covered pretzel?
A chocolate bar. Okay, Reese's Peanut Butter. Let's see. What's in it?
How is this happening?
Yeah, there's pretzel in it.
Okay.
Where do I fall on what?
Chocolate-covered pretzel.
Oh, I like it.
Okay.
I like it. I don't love it. I like it.
Heather would prefer it with dark chocolate, though.
Gross.
Lincoln Park on the Morning Blitz, 650. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick, and man, I don't know what I have to do, how I can make this happen, but I don't know, if we keep you in bed all day long and then get you out to Sonic Temple, Kelly, I would love so much to be able to watch Lincoln Park with you at Sonic Temple.
Why is that?
It's their headliner.
Well, be on I know they're a headliner. Yeah. Why do you want to watch it with me?
I just would like you there with us.
Oh, well, maybe I will be. I was up all night long for this election. Why can't I stay up for Sonic Temple?
Exactly.
It's got to be that important, and Sonic Temple's that important.
And it's on Saturday night.
Yeah, I'll stay up Sunday night for Metallica. 100%, man.
Then we got to be off Monday.
I'll stay up all night long and be on the air. I'll be so delirious. You will not believe the things that'll come out of my mouth.
Oh, well, this might be fun.
Well, it's probably coming here shortly because I haven't had any sleep last night.
I can tell you are wound up.
I am. I'm kind of on edge. I've got jacked up with caffeine.
Oh, it's funny.
I'm debating you about dark chocolate.
Yeah, you want to stay up late? No, I just thought because while we were playing Lincoln Park, you were really singing along, and I'm like, man, yeah, you didn't even realize it. You were too. What? You can't deny that now. You were.
Dude, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have any clue what I'm doing at any moment in time today.
Everything's
so
kind
out
of a blur, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, like literally
a blur.
Your eyes, everything.
Yes.
No, you definitely were singing out loud.
I was.
In the end, yes.
Okay. Well,
and I'm like, man, I would love to see you with us singing
I'm happy
along.
You want to see that with me. That makes me feel good.
Yeah. It'd just be great. So let's make that happen.
Can I crowd surf?
You ask every year. Every year I'm like, I will lift you up whenever you're ready.
And every year for the last 2 years, I've been like, should I go? Should
I know.
do
We're
it?
like on the floor.
Should I do it? And then I chicken out.
We're there, right there on the floor, ready. As people are going, I'm like, yeah, no, okay.
Oh gosh.
I can see how bad you want to do it.
I really want to. I want to have the nerve to take that first step.
Well, maybe 2025 will be your year. Who knows? During Lincoln Park. All right. On a completely different note, the Goonies house. You know, a big fan of the movie, bought the house for $1.65 million 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He loves the movie and he welcomes fellow fans, but his neighbors are not happy. One of them even put up a sign in their yard saying, "Goonies not welcome."
Why?
Well, because people are walking up. Okay, so they live on a court. It's in a cul-de-sac, and there's only 5 houses, and there's no parking in there. So people park outside of it and walk up.
Okay.
So people are constantly walking up to look at the house, get a picture in front of the house. You know, Goonies fans.
Yeah.
And Bayman, the guy that bought the place, he put up his own sign saying, "Hey, you guys, Goonies welcome."
Oh.
And then a friend of his bought the house in between him and the one that put up the other sign. And then that guy put up a sign in his yard that says, "Ignore Karen."
Oh, my God.
So this is what we got going on at the Goonies house. It's hilarious. Yeah, and here's let's see. Here's some audio.
Here's the statistic I will give you, and I think this is basically true in life. About 3% of the human race are assholes. The other 97% are well-meaning, well-intentioned, polite, all of the things that you want to see out of humanity. That 3% shouldn't wreck it for everybody else.
We came to get pictures of that house and film that house. You can't blame me for running up there. If you're going to buy that house, be prepared for that. Don't buy a house like that and expect no one to take pictures of it.
Right.
You know, it reminds me, and I'm going to turn grim because I haven't had enough sleep, but remember when John Benet Ramsey was murdered?
Yeah.
How much trouble the neighbors had with like tourists, people who kept just driving up and wanting to see the home where this little child was killed. I mean, so people, I don't know what that has to do with.
I get it. No, it does. That's exactly the same thing.
People really ruin a neighborhood when something interesting happens at a home.
Oh, look, there's somebody out there standing taking another picture. I mean, that's nobody. At least people aren't turning around your driveway. They're not allowed to drive in there, so. Yeah. People
get so hot when their neighbors like have a gigantic Christmas display that you know causes some traffic jams in the neighborhood, and
I think they're just jealous.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
Former President Donald Trump is the winner of the 2024 presidential election. The projected call was made after he won the key swing state of Pennsylvania, which brought him to 267 electoral votes. And then he won Alaska with its 3 electoral votes, putting him right at 270, what he needed. Soon after, Trump addressed supporters in Florida with his family on stage alongside him.
We made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy?
He said, good things are on the way.
I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before.
And he said he is grateful for people's support.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president.
Vice President Kamala Harris has so far made no remarks after her defeat. She is expected to speak sometime today, reportedly from Howard University in D.C. Well, for the 3rd time in a row, Ohio gave Donald Trump a big victory. Trump buried Kamala Harris here by 12 percentage points. Republicans in Ohio also flipped a U.S. Senate seat by electing Bernie Moreno over 3-term Senator Sherrod Brown. With flipped seats in Ohio and West Virginia, Republicans take control of the U.S. Senate with at least 51 seats. Control of the House is still undecided, with a number of races outstanding. Also, with J.D. Vance becoming vice president, Governor DeWine will have to choose his replacement in the Senate. Ohio voters said no to State Issue 1, the redistricting measure. Franklin County approved a 0.5% increase in the sales tax for an expansion of the COTA bus service and said yes to a new levy for Franklin County Children's Services. School issues passed in Bexley, Grandview Heights, Hilliard, and New Albany, and failed in Buckeye Valley, Groveport, Madison, Madison Plains, Marysville, Reynoldsburg, and Westerville. And those are your 3 things.
Finger 11 on the Morning Blitz, 7:08. That's Kelly Quinn. I'm Thick Rick. Good morning. It's over. The election is over. And Kelly, a little over 1/4 of the country didn't even care. They're just glad it's over. They didn't care about the result. Just said they're glad it's over.
Tired of the commercials? It's really interrupting.
They just don't care, so they don't want to be bothered by it.
Interrupting Wheel of Fortune.
That's a lot of people, though. You know. What was the total? Do we know what the total number of votes were? Well, I guess we don't. We still don't even have certain states in. So.
Right.
All right. I thought this was funny, though. I found this list of Secret Service code names for first families.
Okay.
Have you ever heard these? Some of what they referred to people as? The Secret Service, because they'd be on their thing and like, this was, this person's moving, and they'd give their code name.
Flying Eagle to...
Right. Yeah. So Joe and Jill Biden were known as Celtic and Capri.
Okay.
Celtic's on the move. You know. Donald Trump, at least last time, I don't know if they'll change the names for his term coming up here, but he was Mogul. Melania was Muse. Don Jr. was Mountaineer. Ivanka was Marvel. Eric was Marksman. And Jared Kushner was Mechanic. They all start with the same letter. And I've noticed that as I'm looking through these, I didn't even realize when I first read these that for each family, they all start with the same letter. Barack and Michelle Obama were Renegade and Renaissance. And then their daughters were Radiance and Rosebud.
Oh, all R's.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. With George W. Bush, he was Tumblr first. In his so they do change in the second term. In his second term, he was Trailblazer. Barbara Bush stayed the same. She was Tempo. And their twins, Barbara and Jenna, were Turquoise and Twinkle. And then Bill Clinton was Eagle. Hillary was Evergreen. And Chelsea was Energy.
Okay, so they all have to have the same letter?
I guess so.
I'm assuming.
They just do it. It's just for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't know, But yeah, each family, they all started with the same letter. Had no idea.
That's first time hearing of it.
Kind of interesting, yeah. They've been doing that since 1945, using nicknames, obviously just for security reasons. So, about 5% of the country said they'll probably call in sick today, either to unwind, to recover from the election chaos, because they don't want to hear about it from coworkers, or they're sick to their stomach over the result.
Yeah.
So, you made it in.
I could use some sleep, though. I'll tell you that.
Did you 4 o'clock this morning, you're telling me, I knew you stayed up late, but then Charlie woke you up, right?
Yes, because I was just up and down last night. So I did try to go to bed, to go to sleep. And then I woke up about 9:30, and that was kind of all she wrote. So I think I slept from maybe 8 to 9:30. And then
nap in.
I was on my phone, and then I would just try to lay back down, and then I just would get up and go downstairs and get the update from Charlie. And I was down at midnight or so watching for a little bit, and then I'm like, I'm going to try to go to sleep because I thought, it may be all night.
Right.
What am I doing here? And then at 1:30, Charlie, when he came to bed, he said, Trump won. And so then I guess that sort of helped me
it's over.
Get a couple hours of sleep because then I was like, okay, there's nothing to freak about. It's all over. It's said and done. So anyway.
Yeah, I was in bed 8:15. I'm like,
did you sleep like a baby?
Yeah. I'll see it in the morning. And I got up and I got my breakfast ready and I sat down at the table, and as I started to eat, I hit that button and it's like, all right, let's see what happened. And that's when I found out.
Is that right?
About 3:15 this morning, I
you don't even get up to pee overnight?
Oh, I mean, yeah,
and
that
you didn't
happens.
Check your phone?
No, because then I'm going to be awake. I don't want to do anything to turn my brain on. I want to go to the bathroom and go right back to sleep.
I couldn't help myself. I was just on, I guess, it's just all the excitement over it all, I guess. I don't know, or whatever you call it on election day. It's that way. I can't sleep every election day.
Well.
And that includes,
I think that's all of you news people. You people who are news people.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Because, you guys do news every day, so you get every story, you follow, you read everything, so you're invested. I feel that way. You are. It's just what you do. And you keep following it all. I bet you follow all the stuff even on the weekend when you're not working.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's normal. He's normal.
Well, do you have a nickname you would be if you were the president? Because I'll be your Veep, and then we can go same letter.
Thick and thin.
Okay. There we go. All right.
Five-finger death punch on the Morning Blitz. 7:25 now. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick. Wednesday, a wet one. Definitely not as nice as yesterday. That was pretty good stuff. 80 degrees. That sun was shining for most of it. But, we got rain out there this morning. Clouds, high of 71. So, could be a lot worse.
Yeah, I think rain moves out of here this morning at some point. It's not going to be a rainy day, but it will be cloudy.
71, though. That's good. I'll take that.
Yes.
So, animals apparently like and seek out booze. This is crazy to me. United Kingdom study has found that primates have been eating fermented fruits for millions of years, and they do it on purpose. I love that. They know which fruit. I'm going to eat that fruit. I'm going to get me a buzz.
Yeah, they know. They know those grapes on the vine when they're fermented enough to give a good buzz, I'm sure.
Right. Let's see. Kimberly Hawkins of the University of Exeter says we're moving away from this anthropocentric view that ethanol is just something that humans use. Most animals that eat sugary fruits are going to be exposed to some level of ethanol. The ability to process alcohol would have improved in primates 10 million years ago due to a gene mutation. So possible benefits include relaxation and socialization. So let me have a couple drinks, and then I can hang out and talk to this girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious.
Man, if I could just get a hold of some of those grapes, it'd be easy to deal with these idiots. These idiots in my pack.
Well, it's funny. One of the animals that's top of the list is monkeys, because they can climb trees. They can get to anything.
Yeah.
You know, and they can move around. They can hold stuff and just, I mean, they like to drink.
My friend and her husband, they have 2 Jack Russell Terriers, and one of their Jack Russells loves beer. And so her husband always pours a little beer in a dish when he has a beer. And they're small dogs. They're not big, but and he doesn't give them a lot. But this dog, he obsesses over beer.
Really?
Yes.
Is that okay?
I wouldn't do it. To me, it kind of makes me feel a certain way that's not good. I don't like it when people blow pot smoke in their,
Oh yeah, you shouldn't do that.
I don't like that. I don't think it's funny or anything like that. It upsets me a little bit because, the dog's not necessarily a willing participant.
Right.
But in my friend's case, this dog's begging for beer.
Yeah, he's definitely a willing participant. And based on this study, it sounds like a lot of animals are willing participants. Now,
don't hotbox your animals. It just feels mean.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Out in Colorado, Strawberry, the big pig, got into the garage, and the owners had a bunch of leftover beer sitting in their garage, not open, it was still in the cans, and, that pig had no problem opening up those cans.
Nice. How'd he do it?
They just bite into it.
Bite into it?
Yeah. You just bite it right open.
All right.
She broke the cans open and drank a bunch of it. When they came out and saw her, she was so drunk. They started filming her. She's stumbling all over the place, looking up at them. It almost looked like she was smiling in this video that I saw. Here's some audio.
Oh my God. Look how many she killed. Like, this is gone, that's gone, that's gone.
Strawberry, what did you do?
Probably drunk too.
There were empty cans all over the garage.
This audio just in too. The pig was heard. I got a lot of problems with you people. Or no, I love you, man. I love you, man.
Yeah, right? I love it. I said, what'd you do? And you just went, honk, honk. She said, didn't appear to be hungover the next day. Seemed fit as a fiddle. Was just his normal self. Her normal self. Her name is Strawberry. She's a big pig, too. But, I mean, there must have been at least a dozen cans. Different varieties. She didn't care. She didn't matter which kind she got into. If she could get it open and drink it, she did.
Matt said he used to have a Yorkshire Terrier that would bark at him until he gave her an ice cube with whiskey on it. When he was having a drink, he'd pull out a little ice cube from his drink and give it to her.
And she liked that.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my gosh. We've got people texting in left and right who hotbox their dogs regularly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Got them high?
Yep.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know. I mean, whatever.
I guess if they're fine. I don't know. That one's different.
I'm not going to wag my finger at you. You know your dog and you love your dog, so I trust you.
I would let my dog hotbox me with it, but, White zombie.
What are you people doing over there in Grandview Heights, tearing down signs and acting crazy?
Yeah, we just got a call that over Grandview Heights, people tearing down political signs.
Yeah.
And
we don't know whose signs and what.
Yeah,
we didn't get the politics of it all. It just apparently was people were going a little nuts after the election results were announced.
So I don't know if it was the people who were mad So they're tearing down people's Trump signs, or people who were Trump fans are laughing and running around tearing down Harris signs.
No
I don't
clue.
know, but
there was no politics attached to the phone call.
Stop. Just look, it's over, man. We don't have a controversy. Nothing. We just don't need it.
No funny business at the polls.
I did see, you mentioned that people weren't allowed to wear, you couldn't wear a Trump shirt or a Kamala Harris shirt.
Right.
But people were wearing trash bags.
Oh, were they?
Yes, to go vote.
Yeah, and you were allowed to do that. You were allowed to wear a MAGA hat. You were allowed to wear, what was the Harris slogan? We won't go back, or something like that. I think it was something like that. Sorry, but there were T-shirts, T-shirts. So slogans you could wear as long as there was nothing.
So you could have walked in with a shirt that said "Let's go, Brandon."
No, I don't. I think so.
Well, I don't know
as
what.
long as it didn't say
have the name on it.
One person that I saw on TikTok, this was really funny. She was wearing, and she got hassled a little bit at the polls because she was wearing a Dwight Schrute 2024 shirt from The Office. Like a literal joke. And she got stopped twice going in to vote yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Because people didn't get it.
Yeah.
They didn't understand who Dwight Schrute was. They thought maybe this was a real candidate. So I thought that was funny. And she was totally fine. She's like, yeah, I mean, I wasn't trying to make trouble. I thought everybody would have been in on the joke, and apparently not everybody's in on it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I like that. That's funny. Oh man. Well, the commercials finally will end. At least the political commercials on our televisions. But, where we have commercials, and I don't understand it, and that's the movie theaters.
Oh, Thick Rick. Now, I don't have a diagnosed, clinical anxiety at all. I just get anxious, like most of the rest of the world over things, right? I'm not clinically anxious, because I know that is a really enormous problem for some people, and I'm not trying to liken myself to that. However, I do get anxious about things. And one of those things I get anxious about is being on time, okay?
Yes.
And that includes at the movie theater. If you tell me the movie starts at 6:30, I will be in my seat and ready to go before 6:30, 6:25 at the latest, okay? So then when you put 20 minutes of commercials on me after I've been on time for a movie start, I am unhappy. I'm an unhappy person at that point. You told me the movie started at 6:30. You should start that movie at 6:30. If I want to see the commercials, I'll come at 6:15. How about that?
Yeah. I agree. The director of the Joker movie, Todd Phillips, this guy's the hero we need right now, Kelly. He's standing up against those commercials. He said, stop showing commercials before the movies. We've paid for our tickets. We're excited to be there. And the commercials take the air right out of the room. Now, I'm okay with a couple of trailers. You want to show me a couple movie previews? I think two. Two is good.
I'll even give you a third, but that's it.
I think you should get a certain amount of minutes, because some of these trailers now are 3 minutes long.
Okay, that's a good idea. We'll say you've got 6 minutes of trailers.
Yep, so you can do 2 3s or 3 2s or
just
a 3 2 and a 1, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
But I think 6 minutes of movie trailers get to the movie.
Yes, agreed. Agreed, especially because he's right. We've paid our $15 or whatever to go sit in there. Now, I can get a month of ad-free Netflix for $15.
Right.
I paid $15 for one lousy movie.
Right.
And you're making me watch how many commercials?
Well, pay them to do it.
Oh, brother. And who gets that ad money?
I would assume the theater.
The theater gets it?
I think.
Okay, so it's like Cinemark that's boning us, not...
I don't know.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know for sure. But I think, the theater pays the movie company for the movie. They get their... Because of that $15 that you spend on that movie, only $1 of it goes to the theater.
Okay.
But so they're paid for their, the people to see the movie. I don't see where the movie company would get the commercial money.
Okay.
And so if it's a theater issue and it's like theater chains, if you're doing a lot more, then people are going to start going to other theaters, but then they're going to do it too. So,
well, movie theaters never used to show ads.
Yeah, no,
ever. We got a preview
yeah.
or two, and then the movie, and then all of a sudden ads came in. I don't know when, but yeah, I do not like that.
Yeah.
If I'm paying for something, I shouldn't have to sit through an ad. I truly believe that. I'm paying for an ad-free experience, according to HBO Max. in my $17 a month. I am paying for an ad-free experience.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about it. And Quentin Tarantino, by the way, speaking of filmmakers, he said stop with the remakes. He's sick and tired of remakes, one after another after another. It's like, can't you people do anything original? I've been saying that for years, Quentin, so I'm with you 100%. Led Zeppelin on the Morning Blitz, 7:50. Kelly Quinn and Thick Rick on a Wednesday, a wet Wednesday. Post-election day. It's over. I guess now we turn our attention to the holidays.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? Before that, I promised we're going to give away these Theo Von tickets. He's going to be here in 8 days. He'll play next Thursday, November 14th at The Shot. Funny dude. You can get tickets at Ticketmaster.com, but if you want a free pair, just text the word Von, V-O-N. Text Von to 99700. We will wait. I'll tell you what, I'll start counting the texts beginning at 7:53. It's 7:51 and 14 seconds. Right now, at 7:53, we'll start counting the texts. That way it gives the people online who are in delay a chance. And we'll take text number 99. Text the word Von, V-O-N, to 99700. Text number 99. You will get those tickets. All right, so back to the holiday season. Now we got to shell out a bunch of money for presents and stuff. So maybe you're looking for a little side hustle.
Okay.
All right, now it is a little physical, but it's so easy to start this little side hustle business up. Saw this guy did this on TikTok. Christmas light contractor at Christmas light contractor. Just hanging lights on trees and homes. He's got a ladder. He goes over to Lowe's and buys a bunch of lights, and you hire him, and he'll hang up a bunch of lights for you. And he's making a bunch of money. Let's see. It says to start the business owner suggests investing in extension cords. Well, now if I got to provide the extension cords, you're going to pay for those.
Yeah, you pay for the whole thing.
Yeah,
the lights,
right.
Everything that he uses, I'm sure you pay for.
So you need extension cords, ladder, and string lights. TikToker posted.
And you're going to have to watch 4 ads before I put your lights up.
He says it takes about 10 minutes to put lights up on a tree. Now, I don't know what kind of tree he's doing or how big that tree is, but he's not getting lights up on the tree that I do in 10 minutes. I can promise you that. But yeah, if you just want some lights strung up, you want some lights maybe along, your house, whatever. And he says he charges a per tree rate. So if you want 4 trees done, he's got he didn't say what the rate was, but it seems like a pretty simple way to just make some extra cash quick.
Yeah. I mean, if that's something that you do and you maybe have a little bit of an eye for design and lines and, you know, making something look beautiful, I feel like that you'd be perfect for that.
Yeah, it can't, you can't be like making it look like the very first Charlie Brown Christmas tree that before they fixed it up. It can't look like that. Yeah, and I don't know, what do you do if you hate the job he does, Do you demand he comes back and makes it better, or
I think with any contractor, you can ask him to come back and fix what he did wrong.
Right.
Like, hey, there's a huge gap in lights in my tree here. Can fit a Mercedes through it. How about you come and redo this, buddy?
But it seems pretty simple, man. I guess you just post on your social media or wherever. There's so many places.
Here's my problem with side hustles.
Yeah.
I always think, it'd be kind of cool just to make some extra money. But the fact is, it takes work.
Oh, yeah.
You have to put work. I don't like that. Well, I'm already busy. I already have a full-time job. I want to make side money where there's, the least amount of effort possible, but I'm going to get, some money. What is that? What's that job?
No, Kelly. That doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. Sorry. I mean...
Which is why I don't have a side hustle. Right. If somebody knows something...
Does anybody have a good side hustle for Kelly where she can make $100 an hour for working a minute?
Now you're being crazy. I'm not asking $100 a minute.
$20
what I'm saying
an hour for a minute.
$15 an hour.
Yeah, but you only want to work 5 minutes.
No, I'll work the hour, but I don't want to have to put any effort in.
Then you're not really working.
Yeah, can I man a phone bank that really doesn't ring?
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I'll do some customer service for a company that never gets customer service calls, but I'll hang out. I'll hang out and wait for that call that never comes in. I'll be there, and I'll be there on time.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what
the
you're
word
saying.
hustle really puts me off.
That did you.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
Former President Donald Trump defeated Vice President Kamala Harris in a presidential election that saw a number of unexpected developments. A criminal trial involving Trump during the campaign, 2 assassination attempts against the former president, and a change atop the Democratic ticket after President Biden dropped out of the race. Trump becomes the first president in more than 120 years to serve one term, lose the next election, and then come back again with a win. The only other president to do so was Grover Cleveland in the late 1800s. Trump is also projected to win the popular vote, something he did not achieve in 2016, and something that Republicans have only done once since 1992 with the election of George W. Bush in 2004. As it stands now, President Trump is winning the popular vote by about 5 million votes. Republican Bernie Moreno is taking over one of Ohio's seats in the U.S. Senate. Moreno has beaten incumbent Democrat Senator Sherrod Brown, who has held that seat since 2007.
Today starts a new wave. You know, we talked about wanting a red wave. I think what we have tonight is a red, white, and blue wave in this country.
Moreno's victory has helped the Republican Party overall as they take over the majority in the chamber. Ohioans said no to State Issue 1, a plan that would have spelled major changes for the way the state's political districts are drawn. Republicans also swept all 3 races for the state Supreme Court. Locally, all 4 incumbents in Congress were re-elected: Democrat Joyce Beatty and Republicans Mike Carey, Troy Balderson, and Jim Jordan. Democrats swept the offices in Franklin County. Voters returned County Commissioners Kevin Boyce and John O'Grady and elected Shayla Favor as county prosecutor. Dallas Baldwin gets another term as sheriff. Now, we talked about this earlier in this morning, but according to Google Trends, other than the election results being Googled constantly, one of the big Google searches overnight was Barron Trump height. It was searched tens of thousands of times. Now, if you watch Donald Trump's acceptance or victory speech, rather, you will see Barron Trump standing right next to his mom, Melania. Now, Melania herself is very tall. She's 5'9". She was a model. Everybody knows this. Barron Trump, towered over his mother. And so if the internet is to be believed, I did the Google search as well, so I could bring it to you. Barron Trump, somewhere between 6'7" and 6'9". That depends on which outlet you go with.
Look what happened. Is this crazy?
He is. He got so tall.
So tall. I think Trump's 6'4", Melania is 5'9", and Barron could be as tall as 6'9", depending on who you believe. So that's wild. All right, those are your 3 things.
Nirvana, the Morning Blitz, 8:07. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick, with tickets to see Jerry Cantrell. You'll get all those great Alice in Chains songs and his solo stuff. The band Filters opening up at the Bluestone Tuesday, February 18th. And we have tickets to give away this hour. You are listening for Walk by Pantera. When Pantera's Walk starts playing, you start calling 1-800-821-9970. We do always wait 90 seconds now. Give everybody online a chance. We're listening online because they're in delay. And then we will take caller 9. Again, 1-800-821-9970 when you hear Pantera Walk start playing, which will happen before 9 o'clock, and you'll get those Jerry Cantrell tickets. It's funny, I'm just flipping through the different news networks here, and it's like on some of them it's a party, on others it's a funeral. I just it's just,
well, it reflects the nation. I think for some people it's a party, for other people it's a funeral. Yeah, absolutely. It's like everybody's dealing with their own sort of feelings and emotions today. It's not easy for some people, and other people, like you said, it's just a celebration. So I guess just it can't hurt you to be compassionate to everyone. Have joy for other people's joy, and feel have compassion for other people's sorrow. It ain't that hard.
Yeah, but be good. Yeah, be good to each
other.
Be
a good person.
Yeah, really. You don't even. We heard a report from Grandview. People are tearing down signs. We don't even know which ones. Whether it's people who are mad or people who are happy and just being
tearing them all down. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they're like, it's over. These are coming down.
Is it Rumpke? I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't think it's Rumpke.
Well, no. Actually, the person who called her dude works for Rumpke. So he was telling her, yeah, these signs are all over the place.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay, so he's seeing the aftermath.
Right.
I gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
So, yeah, stop that, you guys.
All right.
I'll tell you what. You know what would be the closest thing in any kind of an election? I have a list here. If we had a primary, a presidential primary, and we had to narrow it down, of fictional presidents. All right. I've got these would be the 7. This is what I got from this story. These would be the 7 fictional presidents in the primary that we would have to figure out who to vote for. One would be President Jed Bartlett from the West Wing.
Okay. Yeah.
Known for his intelligence, compassion, and leadership.
So good.
A beloved character in television history. Then, of course, you have the one and only President Thomas J. Whitmore from Independence Day. That speech was legendary. Took that courageous stand against an alien invasion. Fan favorite in the sci-fi genre. One of my favorites, because I love the show, President David Palmer from 24.
Okay.
Jack Bauer's president.
Yes.
Respected for his integrity and strong moral compass, often seen as one of the most honorable fictional presidents ever. Then you have President James Marshall from Air Force One. Heroic figure. Takes action to save his family and his plane from hijackers. And America, of course. A movie I love, The American President, President Andrew Shepard. I don't know how much we would agree on, but I like that guy.
Was that James Garner? Or wait, who
Oh, that was Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
Who was James Garner and, what was that? I thought it was an American President. Oh, what was it?
James Garner.
When they all had their, Hail to the chief, if you don't, I'll have to kill you.
Oh, I don't remember that.
And Jack Lemmon.
I don't know.
Oh, you guys know. Go ahead. You feel okay.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't think of it.
My Fellow Americans.
Oh, My Fellow Americans. Yeah. All right. Well, Andrew Shepard was a romantic. You know, he had lost his wife to cancer. And what was her name? What's her name? The actress, short hair, that was in it with him.
I don't think I saw it.
You've never seen The American President?
No, I haven't seen half the ones you're naming
Kelly.
here. I have my own list of people I want to put up.
You've seen Independence Day, right?
Yeah, but like back when it was in the theaters.
Okay.
I haven't seen it since, so I don't
Air
remember
Force
about
One?
it. Nope, never saw Air Force One.
That's Han Solo.
I have seen The West Wing.
All right. Oh, you got to see The American President.
Okay.
Great movie.
Okay.
Great movie.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have President Frank Underwood.
Oh,
from House of Cards.
Golly, yeah.
Morally ambiguous, ruthless.
Morally ambiguous? I would say he was morally corrupt, but go on.
And often ruthless, it says, but compelling, a complex character in a political drama.
All right, now here's who I want to put up. Selena Meyer from Veep, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She is the absolute number one pick for me.
She was on the list.
Great. Oh, I thought you were done with the list. Oh, I'm sorry. You put your paper down and I started mouthing off.
I was looking.
Go on. I'm so sorry. I interrupted.
No, that's okay. I only have one more besides her. I was looking up the American President cast.
Oh, okay.
Annette Bening.
Gotcha. Annette Bening.
She was the love interest there.
Okay.
With Michael Douglas, because he was the only president. Well, no, there was one other president who didn't have a wife in office. I can't remember who that was. Like for real. But so he met and courted Annette, and they hit it off and fell in love. But it is such a great movie, The American President. All right, and then so you gave the seventh one, and the eighth one would be President Tom Kirkman. Any idea who that is? That's from the show Designated Survivor. That was also Jack Bauer, but it wasn't really. He wasn't playing Jack Bauer.
Okay, I have a couple of honorable mentions. Okay,
all right.
Kevin Kline from Dave.
Oh yes,
Dave. That's a good one. Now, to me, I would elect that guy president today. The best. And let's just throw in for ish and giggles. Jack Nicholson from Mars Attacks.
Okay, all right. So now we have 10.
But I would say I'd vote for Dave. He, to me, is like morally superior. He's better than all of us. Kevin Kline and Dave.
I like almost all of these guys. Okay. I loved.
Selena Myers is completely self-serving.
Right.
So, and then Frank Underwood would murder you as soon as look at you.
Well, Kiefer Sutherland in Designated Survivor as President Tom Kirkman, he was the designated survivor, and there was the annual speech, the State of the Union, it got blown up. Everybody died except the designated survivor. So now all of a sudden he's president of the United States, and there's no House of Representatives, there's no senators, there's no nothing. It's just him. And that was a great show, and it ended too soon. I think it only made it 3 seasons.
Oh, wow.
And, Harrison Ford as James Marshall in Air Force One, phenomenal. And then I love Whitmore, Independence Day. I mean, he was so great.
Give me Dave. That's all
Dave,
I'll say.
yeah.
Give me Dave.
I'll take Dave any day. That was a good one. Gray days and sickness on the Morning Blitz, 8:24. It's Kelly Quinn, Dick Rick. And Kelly, we talked about poor Peanut the Squirrel. That was Monday, right?
Yes.
That he was murdered. He was euthanized.
Peanut was owned by a man who basically, I guess, Peanut's parent, mom or something, got hit by a car. And so Peanut was this tiny little baby squirrel left on the side of the road. And so this guy takes it in, and for the last 6-7 years has raised Peanut. And Peanut's an internet sensation.
Yeah, became a TikTok star.
A TikTok star.
Yeah. Or just social media in general. Mark Longo is his name. And
then somebody reported him as having illegal wildlife in his house.
Yeah.
And so all these agents swarmed him and took Peanut and euthanized him.
That's crazy. Yeah, because he bit one.
Yeah.
So they had to see if it had rabies, and in order to do that, they had to kill it.
Right.
That's just ridiculous. And so, they are definitely preparing for legal action.
Peanut did not die in vain. The fact of the matter is, we were heavily mistreated. There were so many violated constitutional rights in this situation that it's not even funny. And the simple fact of the matter is we did all of this for a squirrel and a raccoon. It just shows kind of the state of where New York is, where we have so many things to worry about, but somehow we had enough manpower and resources to devote it to a squirrel and a raccoon. So not only are we going to be filing some legal battles, but we also want answers.
I understand. Yeah, that's right. They got the raccoon. They had a raccoon too, because it's like an animal shelter.
Yeah, somebody dropped this raccoon off. I guess, I don't know if it was, I don't know what the circumstances were. Maybe it was injured, but it had only been with this family for 6 weeks, the raccoon.
Mm-hmm.
But they took the raccoon too and put the raccoon down. Which, you do have to have a permit to have certain wildlife in your home as a domestic pet. And he claims that they were working on that. They were trying to get him designated as some type of pet or something. So they were in the process of doing that. When this happened.
Well, the support that came out was just insane. Fans of Peanut, they started a GoFundMe page. They have raised $168,000
for legal.
Well, the shelter, everything.
Yeah.
Wow. Here's another clip from Mark Longo.
Peanut was the cornerstone of our nonprofit animal rescue. And 10 to 12 DEC officers raided my house as if I was a drug dealer. I was sat outside my house for 5 hours. I had to get a police escort to my bathroom. I wasn't even allowed to feed my rescue horses breakfast or lunch. I was sat there like a criminal.
Wow.
All those people should be fired for that.
I mean, what are you?
And I'm not,
you guys are adults.
Not because I'm a crazy squirrel person, but because that is an overreach right there. You have abused somebody in the name of what?
Yeah, right. Go get a real criminal off the street. Come on. That's insane.
I mean, send one guy over there and ask for the proper paperwork. And when he doesn't have it, say, you need to get that in the next 2 weeks here, or we're going to have to confiscate Peanut.
Yeah.
That period. That's all that needed to happen there.
Ridiculous. Authorities say the death sparked bomb threats at New York State Department of Environmental Conservation offices. They got 10 threats Monday. They didn't find any explosives, so they deemed the threats non-credible. People were given the choice to work remotely.
I think people are still, and obviously that power is used. You should not be making bomb threats.
No, you should not.
That's stupid. But I don't think that some segment of society understands the power of social media and the power of TikTok.
Right.
When you're dealing with, especially, Peanut, I think there's 500,000 followers or something. Peanut was all over TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
You don't understand what you're dealing with here.
Right.
Really.
You don't.
Oh, I mean, now you do. Now you understand what you're dealing with. And that is an outraged public because you went in and pulled this stunt. And that's all it was.
I don't get it. I'd love to know was there some motive? I mean, what was the reason that you had to go this far and so extreme?
Because I think when somebody has jurisdiction over you, like an HOA, they really get full of themselves. They really think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to puff out my chest and I'm going to start bossing people around.
But all those agents and all that?
How about not letting him feed his other rescue animals?
I know. What is that?
It's insanity.
My gosh, what do you think this guy's going to do? He's just...
You let the guy go. You go to the bathroom with an escort. Then why don't you escort him to feed his other animals? If you're going to be such big guys over there, over a squirrel.
Yeah, Peanut, rest in peace. Pantera on the Morning Blitz, 8:41. It's Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick. Got to say congratulations to Josh Martin from Delaware. He was caller number 9 when he heard Pantera there, and he has a pair of tickets to see Jerry Cantrell with Filter at the Bluestone. That show again, Tuesday, February 18th. Tickets on sale at liveatthebluestone.com. We'll have another pair to give away coming up tomorrow morning. So good job, Josh. All right, we got some Blitz Therapy now, and it is brought to you by Tri-State Men's Health. And this one's a little different, but it definitely falls under the therapy category, but it's just not somebody looking for advice, just really kind of wanting some answers and wondering what's going on out there. It says, Good Morning Blitz. I thought this might be a topic for your show. I know a lot of young adults here listen in the morning. I work on campus at OSU, and so many here suffer from anxiety, social anxiety, depression, and loneliness compared to just 20 years ago. Not to mention the amount of medications people are on and still suffer. Why? When I was in high school and college, I did not know one single person with any of these problems. I would love to know what has changed so much to have caused so many issues today. Just some food for thought. That is Jackie at OSU. What has changed in the last 20 years? What is the one thing that you can think of that has had a dramatic change?
Societal attitude towards speaking about mental health. 100% that's it, hands down. If you think back to your grandparents, your great-grandparents, the silent generation, you did not talk about your feelings, and you especially did not talk about mental health. That generation did not do it. And then they raised the boomers, who were a little more willing to value self-reflection, a little more willing to tackle their own mental health issues, but they were not vocal about it. If you talk to any baby boomer, I bet you they're not, well, maybe today they are, but back in the day, they were not vocal about getting therapy. But psychotherapy then became really, really popular and more acceptable, like I would say maybe 70s, 80s or so. And then you go through the years of people becoming more and more comfortable speaking about mental health. And in fact, in some circumstances have gone the opposite direction now. If you've ever heard the term trauma dumping,
yes,
where you might be at work and someone all of a sudden is just going to lay a long litany of their serious problems on you at work, which is completely inappropriate, but it does happen. You know, that there are issues with I don't know if it's just the younger generation, but people feeling free to trauma dump on now. So it's gone completely in the opposite direction. I feel like it's a societal attitude. We are more willing to self-reflect, and we're more willing to admit having anxiety, having depression, and going to get help for it. I think it's always been there.
Okay, that's what
all
I was
the generations. 100%. You had people fighting in world wars, in Vietnam. My father fought in Vietnam. Do you think he ever once got any sort of help for the aftermath of that?
No, probably
never.
not.
And never spoke about it. Never spoke about it.
Interesting. All right. Because in my head, it was social media was the thing that's changed in the last 20 years.
I agree with you. I think that's added to it, but I think it's thanks to society's attitudes toward being okay with discussing mental health.
Okay, so I saw this story out of San Francisco 2 days ago, and I already had this email. And again, the email specifically said anxiety, social anxiety, depression, and loneliness. And so I get this that says, new study reveals why children more affected by screen time and social media. It says too much screen time and social media for children can lead to anxiety, depression, and behavioral problems, which I think we knew that. This is a study from the University of California, San Francisco. And the study followed about 9,500 kids aged 9 to 10 and found that spending a lot of time in front of a screen will lead to higher levels of inattention and aggression as well. And I'm like, and then, and I'm thinking about this email, and I'm like, well, I mean, we've got 14 attorneys general suing TikTok for addicting young users and harming mental health through their features like an endless content feed, risky challenges. The legal action is led by attorneys general of New York and California. It includes potential ban threats and disputes on handling data and platform safety for children. So, if and I don't disagree with what you're saying.
Well, I don't think it's just one reason,
right.
But I do think that's a major one. What I said is that societal acceptance and attitudes towards speaking about your mental health, that's very widely acceptable now. So, you're not seen as any certain way if you're like, I'm depressed, I'm suffering from depression. People,
right.
are
so
used to
you're
that
saying
now.
The anxiety and the depression and stuff has always been there. It just wasn't talked about.
100%.
All
It
right.
was absolutely.
Okay.
You people dealing with the Great Depression and everything that happened then during the Great Depression.
yeah,
you
I
don't
can
think
imagine.
those people were full of anxiety and
I'm
depression?
sure. Yeah.
Probably never spoke about it to a soul. But today, if the Great Depression happened, listen, people are struggling economically now.
Right.
And there are 1,000 TikToks made about it every minute. We're willing to get out there and speak about these things that are besetting to our lives.
But a lot of kids are different than they used to be.
Yeah,
when I was in high school, we didn't have a smartphone.
Right.
We didn't have all that.
I think that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal for generations to change and evolve.
Yeah, but so when I was in school, if there was a bully, they were a bully to your face. Whether they picked on somebody or whatever, they did it to your face. Now they do it under a fake name online, and they can do it to so many more people so much more often.
Right. It's easier to be cruel to a bunch of people.
Right. So I definitely think that has an impact.
Yeah, I don't think there's just one reason. There are probably a lot of factors that lead to this. But yeah, I don't think it's any more prevalent. I think that you may be able to argue that our forefathers dealt with worse things than we're dealing with. You could argue that. I mean, we haven't suffered a world war. We haven't had to, have our young men go into battle by being drafted. We haven't had to suffer through that.
Right.
We haven't. There's just, I guess every society and every generation's got their issues. And
now, there's another thing Jackie mentioned was the amount of medications people are on, yet they're still suffering. And that, I think, is a problem. You just can't give, we're just going to give people pills for the rest of their lives. I'm sure Big Pharma would love that.
Yeah, and also that there are medications that really, really help people.
Sure there are.
So there's a lot of value in medication. So I guess you have to be your own best advocate if things aren't working for you to demand further treatment.
But does it ever fix you? That's the thing I wonder about. Will you ever be okay where you don't need to take medications anymore?
Yeah, maybe not. Even if it's a chemical imbalance, then you need help. You can't just muscle through it.
Right. And then again, back to the social media. We have gotten so many texts about social media. It's like scrolling texts. Most social media. It's TikTok. It's Facebook. It's it's blah, and it just on and on and on. And we've gotten report after report after report that talks about the damage that it does. So why do we as parents, the general population, continue to allow it?
I don't. You're asking the big questions here, Thick.
I'm no therapist. I don't know. I'm not a therapist. I'm not going to pretend to be one. But in my mind, it just seems common sense that this social media crap is hurting our kids.
Yeah.
And yet we continue to just let them, have it every day.
Yeah, I don't know what the balance is there. You certainly can't, turn your kid Amish because then they're going to be an outcast. So what balance is there? Do you not let them do social media? You're supposed to be 13 before you get on social media, but that's like a brutal time in a kid's life is when you're 13.
Let them get it. Yeah, here. Everything's crazy enough in your head and your hormones and everything.
Welcome
here, have this on top of it.
Welcome to middle school and TikTok.
Right.
Bullied relentlessly.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I get it. It breaks my heart when I see some of these kids so depressed. And it's like, man, you're so young. You got friends. You go have fun. You got your whole life ahead of you, and you're miserable, and you don't even know why.
Yeah.
it's just sad. So I don't know if that answered any of your questions, Jackie. Kelly, that was a great point. I never thought about that people, it was already here. We just didn't talk about it.
Right.
So great point to bring up. All right. It's Blitz Therapy, brought to you by Tri-State Men's Health. If you got an issue, you want to ask us a question, we'll give you an unbiased opinion. Kelly always comes up with something great. You can email me, thickrick@theblitz.com.
And now, all right, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
Donald Trump has been elected the 47th president of the United States. He won decisively against Vice President Kamala Harris, winning both the Electoral College and the popular vote, something a Republican hasn't done in 20 years since George W. in 2004.
Look what happened. Is this crazy?
In a bit of a tell last night at about 11 p.m., Harris Wall's campaign manager, Jen O'Malley Dillon, told supporters at a big watch party to go home and get some sleep. Now, she told them it's going to be a long night of vote counting. The race won't come into focus for hours. So you get on home and get some sleep and get ready to close out strong tomorrow. That's what she said. So Vice President Harris then, much to the dismay of her supporters, decided to skip an address last night. And she is supposed to speak at some point today. And that's supposed to happen at Howard University in D.C. Well, the director of the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency said yesterday's election saw minor disruptive activities, but the agency has seen no evidence of malicious activity impacting the security or integrity of election infrastructure. Director Jen Easterly told reporters that the hoax bomb threats that were sent to at least 4 states around the country were all deemed to be non-credible and did not impact people's abilities to cast their votes. Marijuana on the ballot in 4 states on Election Day. In Florida, where medical marijuana is already legal and lots of people vacation. So you'd think maybe that they would legalize recreational, but they did not. Voters rejected a measure to legalize recreational marijuana. They want you kids to stay home in your spring break. Go smoke your pot somewhere else.
Is it legal in Georgia?
I don't know. You have to Google that one.
I have to look at that. I just think about, because usually it comes down, everything's always about money. And, I've said, I think we have to thank Michigan for Ohio having legal marijuana now, because everybody was driving up to Michigan and our money was leaving the state. Same things happen in New Jersey, New York situation. They're dealing with the same thing. So, but in Florida, if you're in South Florida, driving to Georgia is a long trip.
Yeah, a little bit of a haul. Maybe Alabama. It's a little closer.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's legal there either. I have to check on that. I'm just curious, because I feel like if it was legal in Georgia and Alabama, they might go a different way because their money would be leaving the state a lot more often.
Right. Medical. Similar recreational questions on the ballots in North and South Dakota were also rejected.
Oh, really?
They're not into it there as well. But in Nebraska, voters said yes to making medical marijuana legal. So they're kind of maybe on the same projection
Interesting.
as we are. Whatever. Sorry, I didn't sleep last night, guys. I can't really think very well.
So yesterday, sitting there watching election coverage for 3 hours while I was watching. I started at like 2:30 in the afternoon. Took 3 hours.
Yeah, and that's the boring time because there are no returns yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm just listening to stuff.
Right.
Oh, yeah. But I spent 3 hours trimming all the buds off of my second plant. So now everything is done.
Are they in their jars?
Everything is in jars. 16 quart-sized mason jars packed to the top of each one.
You could have the biggest party and still have leftover.
You're right.
I cannot believe how much 2 plants.
It's insane.
Have given you.
I know. And there are people out there who have 12 because there's 2 people in the house and you can have 6 per person.
Do you have good buddies texting you and going, hey, man?
Yeah, I'm calling him. I'm like, hey, man, if you want any, I got you. Come get some. I'll give you a bag right now.
How about that?
It's like, it's crazy.
Wow. If I partook, I'd have a hookup.
You would.
I'm kind of bummed about that.
Yeah, I'll never pay for weed again, Kelly.
No, you won't. Nope. You've got a green thumb in the purest of manners. Green thumb.
Grow a different kind next year, and
you can start sampling.
Yeah. So best strain I ever had in my entire life is called Lemon G, and I found a place online that sells the seeds.
Okay, is that next year's?
Yes,
or when
definitely.
do you plant for?
Oh, I'll start them indoors in like the end of March.
Okay.
And just, because it won't smell for a long time, but then as they get tall, I'll just use some heat lamps and start them, and then I'll transplant them when it gets warm enough outside.
Someone who lives in your house sent a message that said, "Our house is very aromatic."
Well, it's all leaving now because it's all in jars now. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
But yesterday
what
it
is that?
smelled.
Burping?
Burping. Yeah, you have to open the jar.
Let out the
nitrogen, the moisture out, and let some dry air in.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
okay.
you don't want to have any kind of mold or anything. So you got to let that moisture out every once in a while.
Hey, well, as you were asking for tons of advice during your process here, now you can be the advice giver next year.
Yeah, well, a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, those are your 3 things.